Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Jewish Women's Circle Kintsugi event tonight. Thank you all so much for being here. Tonight, actually, on the Hebrew calendar is a semi-holiday. Do you hear me over there? Yeah. Amazing. A semi-holiday called Pesach Sheni, which translates as the second Passover. What is this second Passover situation? A year after the Exodus, God instructed the Jewish people to bring the Passover offering on the afternoon of the 14th of the month of Nisan, which is the day of the Seder, and to eat it that evening as they had done the previous year just before they left Egypt. There were certain people who had become ritually impure because of contact with a dead body, some from carrying the bones of Joseph out of Egypt, and others from burying those who had passed, and therefore were not able to prepare the Passover sacrifice. These people approached Moshe and they said, "Why should we be left out and not be able to participate in this offering?" In response, God revealed to the Jewish people the 14th of Iyar, exactly 1 month later, as a day for the second Passover for anyone who was unable to bring the offering on its appointed time in the previous month. The lesson for each of us is that it is never too late, it is never a lost cause, and we always have another chance to grow, to change, and to transform. Another related incident occurred in the 40th year since the Exodus, shortly before the Jewish people entered the land of Israel. God informed Moshe that each tribe's territory would be determined by lottery, and each man in the tribe would receive a portion of land in his tribe's territory. Upon the man's death, his sons would inherit his property, thereby guaranteeing that each plot would remain in the family to which it was originally assigned. One man named Selafchad had 5 daughters and no sons. The 5 daughters' names are Machla, Noah, Chagla, Milcah, and Tirzah. These sisters came to Moshe and asked, "Why should our father's name be," this is the quote in the Torah, "Why should our father's name be eliminated from his family because he had no sons? Give us a landholding in the land of Israel." Moshe brought their case before God, to which God responded, "The daughters of Tzalafchad have spoken correctly. You shall certainly transfer their father's inheritance to them." Tzalafchad's daughters represent the Jewish woman's love for the land of Israel. Additionally, practical laws were derived from this incident. Chassidut explains that really this day of Pesach Sheni and its lesson of it never being too late, as well as the laws pertaining to what happens when a man dies without heirs, always existed in the Torah, but was not revealed until these select groups of Jewish people so sincerely wished to be part of God's mitzvah. Because of their sincerity in wanting another opportunity, because of the 5 sisters' love for the land of Israel and wanting their family to have a part of it, they merited that for all generations to come, this day of Pesach Sheni and the timeless message of always having another chance to improve came through these select people. Even if we feel ritually impure, so to speak, like the first group we mentioned, tainted or broken, we're never too far, and we always have that open opportunity to try again. And then there's something even more profound. The Talmud teaches, "Zdonot nasu kizachyot," that sins can be transformed into merits. Not only can something broken be repaired, it can become stronger and more beautiful than before. We actually have an incident of something very important being broken recorded in the Torah. When Moshe came down from Mount Sinai with the first set of tablets, he sees the Jewish people only 40 days after the greatest revelation of divinity that there ever was at the giving of the Torah on Mount Sinai, worshiping the golden calf. What happened was that they miscalculated the date that Moshe promised to return by. They assumed that he died and decided to create an idol in place of Moshe. Moshe is coming down the mountain. He sees this sight and shatters the tablets. In response, God tells Moshe in Hebrew, "Yashar koach sheshi bartam." Yashar koach means like way to go. So like way to go for breaking them. That's the translation. Way to go for breaking them. Not only did God agree with Moshe, but it sounds like he's actually celebrating Moses' this dramatic action that Moshe did. If we think about it, Moshe could have chosen to withhold the tablets in other ways than breaking them. Chassidut explains that this breaking was part of the process necessary for the second set of tablets that Moshe brought. When the Jewish people saw their faithful leader, Moshe, shatter the luchot, the tablets, imagine how they felt. It shook them up, it shattered something inside of them, it broke them, and it humbled them. Only once the Jewish people reached that point were they able to be receptive to receiving the far deeper revelations that the second set of luchot, of tablets, would hold. Because we know that the second tablets revealed a lot more the depth than the first ones would have. However, this does not mean that the ultimate is to be broken. The deeper message of the first and second tablets is found in where they were both kept, which was together, the first and second tablets, in the ark. The Ark of Testimony itself embodied paradox. Interestingly, it had precise measurements, yet the Torah says that it did not take up any space, meaning that you could hold up a measuring stick to it and measure it, but yet, miraculously, it was totally absent in terms of space. It didn't take up any space. It held opposites simultaneously. Now, of course, this is something that's hard to wrap our minds around, but in the Torah, this concept is called nimna hanimnaot, which means being able to combine opposing things at the same time. Whether something is being shattered in front of our eyes, or we're watching something dear to us be ripped apart, or maybe we just feel, maybe we feel humbled and empty, whatever it is part of our service to be somewhat broken. At the same exact time, though, we also have a crucial duty to be whole, to be invested, energized, and do what God wants. The way that we can possibly combine these two is by tapping into our personal Ark of Covenant, the home to the two sets of the tablets, and home to contradicting opposites. Each of us carries an ark in our heart, which should empower us to live with both at the same exact time. We have this powerful ability of combining two opposites together simultaneously. We have to praise the times that we break, just like God praised Moses, since that is the first step to the doubled and redoubled blessings, accomplishments, and growth that will come from it. At the same time, we have to show up into it, live in a joyous way, grow and expand and serve God within this incredible, unique way of combining brokenness and wholeness together. With that, although we may break many vessels in life, when we rebuild them, they hold deep potential to become something so much stronger, deeper, and more meaningful. My prayer to each of you is that we are able to celebrate any broken parts of life and also grow from the broken moments by devoting ourselves fully and creating something so beautiful like we'll do tonight. So thank you all so much for being here, and let's get into it. Welcome, Chani. Thank you so much.